From her office on the 45th floor of a glass skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan, Amelia Reyes could see Central Park stretching out like a green tapestry. But it had been a long time since she truly appreciated the view. The cold neon light of her computer screen and the pressure from the prestigious design firm, Aura Design, had devoured all the color in her life. Amelia was a talented art director who had spent nearly a decade building Aura's brand. She was the creator of sophisticated logos and deeply meaningful campaigns. However, time had eroded her passion, turning it into a persistent, low-grade anxiety. She worked 70 hours a week, constantly fearful and vulnerable, feeling like an old, worn-out piece in a machine that constantly demanded innovation. A sense of insecurity became painfully apparent when Blake was hired. Blake was younger, only 24, and a recent graduate of a top design school. He possessed a trendy style, utilized the latest AI tools, and always dressed as if he had just stepped out of a Soho photo shoot. Mr. Sterling, Aura's CEO, frequently praised Blake publicly, calling him the future of design and the one bringing in new energy. "Amelia," Mr. Sterling said during one meeting, his voice impatient as he reviewed her logo sketch for their biggest insurance client. "This design is too safe. I need something with impact." Like how Blake handled the Zasa project, he isn't afraid to take risks. Amelia bowed her head, feeling a cold, knot tightening in her stomach. She knew her design was durable, meaningful, and thoroughly researched to align with the client's brand values. But she had no defense against the appeal of so-called flashy impact. She began to change herself. She spent hours studying Blake's style, trying to inject flamboyant details, 3D effects, and bold Gen Z fonts into her work. She wanted to prove she could innovate, that she was not replaceable. But each attempt resulted in a hybridized, soulless design that satisfied neither her nor Mr. Sterling. "What am I doing?" Amelia asked herself late one night, sitting alone in the office, the streetlight from Fifth Avenue streaming through the window. She looked at her reflection in the dark screen, seeing an exhausted woman with dark circles under her eyes and a face stripped of creative joy. The climax arrived with the bid for the giant tech corporation. This project had the potential to redefine anyone's career at the firm. Amelia was assigned the responsibility of designing the complete brand identity. She worked tirelessly, striving to create a brand image that represented trust and longevity, the very values Synovitech truly needed. Days before the presentation, Mr. Sterling requested Amelia review her work again. "Blake has a very bold plan B. Amelia, are you certain about your direction? We can't lose this contract because of your safety." Blake, with his arrogant confidence, had created a vibrant, animated logo that looked extremely metaverse. Something hot right now, but easily forgotten. Amelia felt on the verge of collapsing. Blake had succeeded in creating a product that made her feel useless, convincing her that anyone could do better. She decided she would step back and let Blake present his option. "I can't compete with the future," she muttered. But as she prepared to delete her design file, her finger hesitated over the keyboard. She stared at her work, a minimalist, deep blue icon with a single line depicting stability and upward momentum. It wasn't flashy, but it had soul. It conveyed authenticity, the very thing Amelia always pursued. In that moment, an old memory flooded back. A 10-year-old Amelia sitting on the Queen's apartment living room floor, drawing a portrait of her grandmother with a pencil. The drawing wasn't perfect, but it captured the warmth and depth in her grandmother's eyes. She won the school art competition with that drawing, not because of complex technique, but because of its sincerity. "My value isn't in being a better copy of someone else. My value is in being myself, which no one can replace." Amelia realized she had wasted too much time trying to be Blake. She had allowed the fear of being replaced to shape her work. If Blake was the future, she was the depth. Both had value, but she could only succeed by leveraging her unique strengths. She reopened her file. Instead of deleting it, she added a new, strong, and confident rationale, emphasizing the philosophy behind the design. Trust doesn't need it needs authenticity. The day of the presentation arrived in a luxurious conference room overlooking the Hudson River. Blake presented first. He talked about trends, AI, and disruption. Mr. Sterling nodded approvingly. Then it was Amelia's turn. She stood tall, no longer trembling. She didn't talk about trends. She talked about client psychology, brand legacy, and why a sustainable design was more important than a temporary one. She presented with all the sincerity and accumulated knowledge of nearly 10 years. When she finished, she looked directly at Innovatech CEO, Eleanor Banse. Blake's design is a race, a promise of rapid change. My design is a foundation, a commitment to stability. Or a design can offer you a replacement or a unique partner. The conference room fell silent. Finally, Miss Vance smiled, a warm and decisive smile. Amelia, she said, I've seen hundreds of bold designs, but I haven't seen one that so clearly articulates our business philosophy as yours. Your design has weight and depth. It cannot be replaced. Amelia won the contract. However, the real victory wasn't the contract, but the liberation. She had proven her worth, not by defeating Blake, but by stopping the attempt to be someone else. A week later, Amelia placed her letter of resignation on Mr. Sterling's desk. I'm opening my own studio, focusing on brands that seek authenticity and sustainability, she explained. Mr. Sterling, recognizing his mistake, tried to keep her with a higher salary and a better title, but Amelia gently shook her head. Thank you, but I learned a valuable lesson here, Amelia said, looking out the window where the morning sun was shining brightly on the Statue of Liberty. I can't let others define my worth, and I won't let others replace my unique self anymore. Amelia Reyes changed her life. She left the cold glass building and began her own journey. No longer fearful, but filled with confidence. She understood that a person's true power lies in their uncopyable uniqueness. Never let others replace you. Become the person who cannot be replaced.